everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Do me a favor and please subscribe if you haven't already. Also consider joining my Patreon page for some cool perks. I'll leave a link in the description. Today we'll do another episode of Classic Concerts. In this series, we'll take a look back at some unforgettable shows that have stood the test of time. This time I went with Elvis Presley's Aloha From Hawaii concert, where he retained his title as the king of rock and roll. First we'll get general info out of the way. After that I'll lead you through all my likes and dislikes about this particular event. Just to let you know, I put a link in the description to the full 4K Aloha From Hawaii show. You should check that out. Now let's get started. To get the ball rolling, I initially want to share some general info. Aloha From Hawaii erupted on January 14, 1973. This year marks the 50th anniversary. Filming took place at Honolulu International Center, and believe it or not, actually symbolized the first live satellite broadcast dedicated to a single entertainer. Elvis's manager, Colonel Parker, claimed that over 1 billion people tuned in to get a glimpse of the king in action. Touchingly, roughly $75,000 donated by the live audience who attended helped fund a cancer research program for the local university. During the hour-long spectacle, Elvis navigated through a superb set list which integrated 22 songs of his marvelous material and a couple cover songs to shake things up. My favorite song on the set list was a spectacular Beatles cover called Something. I think it tops the original. No offense to the Beatles. Let's shift gears to my likes. First and foremost, the location. Hawaii has been a dream destination of mine as long as I can remember. This right here is the closest I've ever been to Hawaii. It's quite a breathtaking place, a place where you can forget about your troubles. In addition, there's an exponential amount of fascinating aspects connected to Hawaiian culture, including luau's, beaches, surfing, volcanoes, shaved ice, and hula dancing. I definitely concur with the choice Elvis made pertaining to the performance location. Something else that pleased me to no end was when Elvis uttered his famous catchphrase, "Thank you very much." Hearing those words gave me goosebumps. At that point, you know undoubtedly that this is really happening. He didn't waste much time chit-chatting with the audience. If he did, it would have bogged down the show. Instead, he paused to politely express his appreciation toward the people there and swiftly switched to the next song within seconds. Barely any breaks in the action, therefore Aloha From Hawaii flowed at a smooth pace, just the way I like it. Another element that I greatly admired about this event was the generous gift-giving of leis by the crowd to Elvis. When in Hawaii, do as the Hawaiians do, right? Elvis emerged onto the stage wearing a super stylish white jumpsuit encrusted with glittering ruby red and sky blue jewels. However, something important was missing. Early on, the king strutted across the stage, lowered his head, and an audience member slipped a lovely lei around his neck. Then they repeated the process several more instances throughout the show in order to swap colors. Later, Elvis certainly returned the favor. Not only did this phenomenon establish a beautiful bond between Elvis and the crowd, but it also seemed so fitting for the occasion. Aloha From Hawaii's significance skyrocketed after Elvis accepted the leis. Continuing with the likes, I felt totally transfixed due to multiple camera angles being transmitted simultaneously. Notice the contrast when you compare the wide angle as opposed to the close-up shot. Remember, this concert took place during the early 1970s, so I'm sure this advanced technology wasn't readily available. Even today, it's not exactly common. Thankfully, the camera operators refrained from relying on two angles side by side at once too often. Otherwise, it would have been slightly irritating. I'm proud of them for the ingenuity they demonstrated. Admittedly, I was a little worried regarding Elvis's recent weight gain that it would negatively affect his singing ability. However, his plump physique hardly hurt him. On the contrary, his voice came across as extremely warm, stable, and quite quaint. Listening to him sing feels like coming inside after playing in the snow on a cold winter day and sitting in front of a cozy fireplace while holding a mug of hot chocolate. That's precisely what the King's voice reminded me of. Finally, I was fond of the order that the set list went as well. Elvis figured he should save his more renowned songs for the second half of the show. Gradually building up to the bigger tunes such as Hound Dog and Jailhouse Rock proved to be a wise decision. By doing so, it sent a crystal clear message to fans that the quality wasn't going to go downhill over time. Let's go over my dislikes. I only have one. The only thing that rubbed me the wrong way was that over the course of an hour, there wasn't a single peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwich to be found. Because of that, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. This is such a glaring omission. Maybe the sandwiches were hiding backstage. Who knows? Nevertheless, I still believe that Aloha From Hawaii was by far the most extraordinary event of Elvis Presley's career. He may have let himself go physically, but his spirit still stayed stronger than ever. Well, that's it. What do you think of this concert? Let me know in the comments. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my supporters on Patreon, Matt and Stacy from Canada. That does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Till then, rock on.